Ahmaud Arbery's killers sentenced to life in prison. The three men who murdered Ahmaud Arbery will not pay for taking his life with their own. Instead, Travis and Greg McMichael were sentenced to life without the chance for parole, plus 20 years. William Bryan Jr. was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. Here's how the sentencing went down today, January 7, 2022, in Glynn County, Georgia. Linda Danikoski, the lead prosecutor on the case, asked for life without parole for father and son, Greg and Travis McMichael. For William Roddy Bryan Jr., she requested life with a chance for parole. During the sentencing hearing, the family of Ahmaud Arbery presented victim impact statements. Marcus Arbery Sr., the father of the victim, read his first. Jasmine Arbery, the older sister of Ahmaud Arbery, spoke next. Finally, his mother Wanda Cooper Jones spoke last. She spoke aloud to her son and then addressed the court. All three requested the toughest sentence possible. None agreed with the prosecution's decision not to seek the death penalty. The defense argued for leniency. After a brief recess, Superior Court Judge Timothy Wamsley came back to the courtroom to pronounce the sentences. He began first with noting this was a tragedy and an important case, not just for Georgia, but for the United States as well. To prove his point, he had the court pause for 1 minute to demonstrate the amount of time Ahmaud Arbery was running from his killers before his life was ended. Judge Wamsley then went on to describe his reasoning before delivering the sentences. He said he was informed by the defense's own words. Whether it was when Greg McMichaels threatened to blow Arbery's head off, or that he was trapped like a rat and said after Travis fired the fatal shots, "If I could have gotten a shot at the guy, I would have." The judge brought up that Travis McMichael said the shooting was the worst day of his life and acted like he was in shock after the fatal incident, even though he made the decision to chase Arbery. As for Bryan Jr., it was the blind indifference, asking "Y'all got him?" Plus later telling police, "I figured he'd done something wrong, I wasn't sure." Judge Wamsley then referenced Cooper Jones' victim impact statement, where she said, "When they could not scare or intimidate him, they killed him." This was a killing. It was callous, and it occurred because confrontation was being sought, the judge finally said. Life with the possibility of parole in Georgia is 30 years minimum, with the state parole board making the decision if and when to grant parole.